Well, Kevin, thank you very much for saying yes to doing a video testimony. This is Kevin Donnelly. He's VP of Project Management for a company here in Cincinnati that's big into economic development called REDI Cincinnati. It's a company that's got 21 employees, and I coached Kevin for a year. And basically, we just ended our engagement, but we did a 12-month process. And thank you, Kevin, for agreeing to say yes to a video testimony. So,
Yeah, no problem. Happy to help. Happy to be here and enjoyed our time together.
awesome. Thank you. Well, yeah, first question is, why did you decide you needed a coach? What made you decide now's the time? I've read enough books or podcasts. Now it's time to actually get a coach.
Yeah, I think the answer to that's really twofold. First is that I had the opportunity to take on this new position of Vice President of Project Management at REDI. I had been on the organization for about five and a half years at the time when I received the promotion, and so that was kind of the impetus. But the second piece of that is the leadership, particularly Kim Lauterbach, our president and CEO, was gracious enough to offer this opportunity to me as I stepped into that leadership role. So support from my leadership team plus the new opportunity at the professional level with the new role culminated in me seeking a coach to assist with the transition.
You were very open from the very beginning. Hey, Cory, I'm interviewing a bunch of different coaches. I got these calls lined up, and I'm very grateful that I was selected. Why did you choose me versus any other coach, or our program versus any other program? What stood out to you in your decision?
Yeah, well, it's funny you phrase it like that. I'm someone who's very direct. I always have been. I typically am working on how to provide direct feedback with taking other people's feelings and emotions into account. But what I appreciated in our conversations is how deliberate and direct you were. I think direct and candid feedback and coaching up and down um, is a sign of respect. It's something that I respond to well and appreciate. If I'm doing something wrong or someone needs to call me on my crap, I just want them to do it to me straight, right? Give it to me straight. So I appreciated how direct and open our conversations were from the beginning, and knew that would translate to your coaching style, and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, cool. Well, and then during the coaching process, the actual, the year-long engagement, what was some of the things that that helped you grow, helped you, change?
And I mentioned this to you before. It seemed like everything we discussed was pertinent to what was going on in either my personal life or my professional life. And so as I was, taking on the new leadership role and trying to step out of the weeds in the day to day and start focusing on strategic stuff, we had lessons and programs to review, whether it was leading a new set of team members. It was onboarding new team members. As you know, my wife gave birth to our son throughout our coaching process,
That's
and
right.
there
That was
was
cool.
every time we connected, the lesson could easily be applied to my life in any of those areas, personal or professional. And I really that was valuable. It didn't ever feel like homework. It was really natural to take these little tidbits and lessons and apply them in real time. And then they were repeatable for that same reason. So able to work them into kind of my daily, weekly, monthly routine. Again, both professionally and personally.
No, that's great. What was the greatest impact? Maybe there's two, but what was the greatest impact to our coaching? Was it a mindset, a tool, just whatever it may be? What was the greatest impact?
Um, Dedicated time to think and be deliberate. You challenged me a lot, not necessarily on the outcome that was selected, but the process to get there. Did you consider X, Y, and Z? Um, if the solution or the decision that you made that could be the right one, sure, but where you constantly challenged me and asked questions was how did you get there? Did you want to end up there? Is that the path you intended to take? And I think the deliberate nature of reviewing the thought process and the why and the how is something that I felt was a theme kind of throughout our learnings, and probably in general the top thing that I've taken away from our relationship.
No, that's awesome. That's pretty cool, right? It's not the idea of just give them a fish, teach them how to fish.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Yeah.
you were equipped with almost a new line of thinking of
Yeah.
almost a more curiosity even to your own self.
Yep. Yep. And as you know, in our relationship, I'm not someone who's just gonna, you know, change on a dime, right? I've got to internalize it and understand it's going to take me a little bit of time. And sometimes I'd go through that process that provided, and I would still come out the same conclusion, right? But sometimes
Mhm.
I had some new ended in a new place. So that thought process about being deliberate is something that I think about still every day.
Oh, very, very cool. Well, and we've not been working together for a month. We had our last call a little bit ago. I know we're talking about re-engaging here in a year or so. Uh, any tools you've been going back to in the last month?
I think what I rely there's two things that I've used most frequently, and I think just based off what's applicable at the time. One, is the structure of always start with purpose, right? As your first,
Mhm.
if this doesn't fill your why, are you supposed to be doing it? And then the second piece of it is the leadership square. As I'm taking on this new team and my team members are becoming team leads in and of themselves, that tool has been really helpful for us, for me and my team members to talk about challenges, opportunities on training other people up. So that leadership square is a tool that we use quite often still.
Oh, that's cool. Well, Kevin, for anyone who's contemplating coaching, what is any final thoughts or things that you could offer them up?
Yeah, first in general, I've heard people say before everyone needs a coach. When you think about coaching, the best people on the planet at their craft, think LeBron James in basketball has several coaches, Tiger Woods on the golf course, several coaches. Taking a step back, third party feedback, and somebody who has a vested interest in your own development, but not necessarily the outcome, so to speak, has been really helpful for me. And I think it's something everybody should consider. And then Cory, one thing I've specifically enjoyed with you as people are considering it is, what are you looking for in a coach? I want someone, as I mentioned, to be direct, honest, candid, to the point. It doesn't lack emotion or feeling in any way, but I find that I respond well to those things, and I've really appreciated your straightforwardness, things that you've been able to pivot if stuff's not working. We just pitch it and head a new direction. So I've really appreciated your candor, and kind of direct communication with me. And for folks that are looking for kind of, let's just get down to business and handle what we're here to do, I think that they would really benefit themselves by partnering with you.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate the friendship and the business and you taking time to say some nice words. So thank you very much.
No problem. I've really enjoyed our time together and look forward to getting together again.